Hey there.
Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Doing very well. Thanks so much for joining me.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, I got a couple things going on here.
I want to talk a bit about your latest single, which you're
Yeah.
promoting right now, Silence the
Yes.
Fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, very intense. I was watching the video and I'm like, wow, this is dark stuff.
Yeah. We're kind of an intense band, I guess. We always came from like the old school metal. We've been doing this for 20 years, and so we came from the old school metal background. But we're trying to make it a little more uh, pop formula, where it's still got the catchy hooks and the singing melodic vocals. We can't, because I can't listen to screaming all the time either, even
Yeah.
though I'm in a metal band.
No,
So yeah,
I like
it's a
that.
pretty intense song for sure, content wise.
Yeah, and you play guitar, so what would
Yeah,
you say is your kind of approach to this song when you guys were putting together the song? How do you kind of go about putting your bits in there?
I write all of the music. How do
Oh,
I put
okay.
this? So I'll show you. Man, I'm getting a bunch of messages here, but this is this is the board right over here.
Oh, wow.
And so during COVID, I wrote about 16 songs, and I do it right here in my studio. This is my studio.
That's
So
impressive. That's nice.
yeah, so I put the whole thing together. I write, basically, this is what I do. I'll write about a 2 or 3 minute demo. I'll come up with the idea, formulate it, and then I'll program the drums so I can kind of feel it, hear what I think it's going to be, and then I'll give it to the guys and say, okay, what can we add, to this, or what can we take away from this? And sometimes I go a little bit far, and so we have to take some stuff away. I hate that
Hmm.
part, but it can't be all one guy. And then once we have that, we send it to our producer, Chris Collier, and he has a really great vision for what we're trying to do. So he'll say, "Hey, this beat isn't great," or whatever, and he'll help us condense it to what it really needs to be. And then when we get the final arrangement that we really like, then he helps us record. Then we do vocals, and we do vocals right over here. We have a little booth over here, and then Chris, sometimes when we're recording, he'll literally log in from Vegas, and he takes control of our board and is literally recording us from Vegas.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
incredible what technology can do today.
I know. I mean, we were blown away that we could do that. Joe was standing right over here recording the vocals, and I'm watching Chris on the computer, and I'm just kind of here making sure everything's going good for Chris so Joe can do his thing. And it works. So we may
Yeah.
we may after things calm down and travel gets a little better, we may go out to Vegas and do some songs with him, because I'd rather be in person. But for now, this works.
That's
So
definitely a solution to the COVID,
yeah.
issue,
Oh, COVID
pandemic.
was great for me, by the way. It was terrible for a lot of people, and I hate
Yeah.
that. But I was in this room the whole time recording my ass off.
No, that's why I've been telling people, there's been silver linings to it for me, although I know it's been tough on people, at
Yeah.
least, I don't know. Like you said, there's been some pluses.
Yeah. Texas, probably unlike a lot of places up north, didn't get it nearly as bad. We had the cases, but they opened it up pretty quick. I thought it was pretty sensible. They opened it up pretty quick, and our cases keep declining. And so I'm so thankful to be able to live here and not have to worry about it as much. But it would be stressful to be up in a big city like
Mm.
New York, or probably even Boston. I bet was probably pretty stressful.
Actually in Boston, um, I feel like we were one of the states that took it very strict from the beginning, with the whole mask mandate and
Oh yeah,
um so our cases, we had it under control for quite a while.
good,
Yeah, so
good.
we're doing all right.
Are y'all still having to do masks, or is that over?
So if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to. Um,
Good.
but people, I still see a lot of people still wearing a mask even though they're vaccinated. So
I think we're changed
yeah,
forever.
yeah.
I think I think this changed things forever, and I think some people with health risk are going to be wearing masks from now on. And God bless them. Hopefully they get better. Hopefully they're okay. I hope that's good for them if they need to do that.
Right. And I saw you guys
So
are, scheduled to play the Warren Fest. Is that still a go? Like
yeah,
100%?
yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, the Braille Club is a really cool venue. They have a really great stage. It's a great room, and Chris is a really great promoter and venue owner. In fact, I work with him. He does some booking with me for LOCKJAW. But so I don't know if you really know the Pantera thing. Pantera is from here.
Yeah, I was going to ask you
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
What your favorite deep cuts from them were.
Oh man, I love all of them because they were from here. We'd see them at the bar. We would just be hanging out, see them, and their producer Sterling was a friend of mine, and it's a big, close knit circle. I guess I wasn't in the inner circle, like I wasn't best buddies with them or anything, but I knew them from the outskirts, and I would see them and talk to them. But anyway, long story short, Warren was a good friend of that crew, and he's just a great guy. Warren works with Chris, and so every year they do like a birthday festival thing for him, and they asked if we would do a show, and we said sure. This will be our first show back with our new singer, and so yeah, that's what we're doing. It'll end up being a big show. The band Low Gear is on it, and they're Dallas. They've been Low Gear, LOCKJAW, Element 80. There's a few bands in Dallas that have been here for close to 20 years. So it's cool to be a part of that. So
yeah, I mean, I have to say, Texas in general, they're making some awesome bands,
yeah.
Like I don't know if you know Blacktop Mojo.
Oh yeah.
They've been kind of blowing up too, and Blackheart Saints, I think they're from Texas too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Texas is killing it right now with the rock music.
We had a scene in the early 2000s that it was like something they talked about. You remember they talk about Seattle in the early 90s,
Yeah.
The Texas rock scene here was unbelievable. You had Pantera here. So any of the big bands that came through were hanging out with Pantera at their clubhouse place. And the stories, they're partiers. They were big partiers. And so the stories are endless. And Dallas is a haven for heavy rock and metal, and Drowning Pool's from here. My good friends Element 80, they got signed to Universal, and they're just they're about to make a comeback. We're about to do a big show with them New Year's Eve. And then God, there's been so many bands that I don't know if you remember. Oh man, what was their name? A Dozen Furies. They were on the Ozfest tour. They were on that TV show, The Battle for Ozfest, and Bands on the Run or Battle for Ozfest. I can't remember what it was called, but they won it and they got on Ozfest. They toured all of Ozfest, which is cool. So yeah, Texas has got a big scene, and the scene's not what it used to be, but I do the Ridgely Metal Fest. It's a huge festival, 30 bands, 3 stages. I do it. I try to do it every year. I'm doing one this New Year's Eve with Element 80, LOCKJAW, and some other really cool bands. I did it in 2018 before COVID with Drowning Pool, Bury Your Dead, LOCKJAW, and 30 bands. So I'm trying to rebuild and trying to help grow the scene. There's a lot of young bands that don't know who to call or how to get on shows. I just try to reach down and help those guys, because there was a bunch of big bands when I was coming up that were helping us, so I try to pay it forward.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's frustrating when there's so much talent out there and they're just not getting noticed, when you feel like, gosh, this band should be seen by everyone.
Dude, it's hard too this time. I mean, for when we started, it was, hey, you go out there and you hit the stages. You hit the stages, you pass out flyers, you try to get on the radio on the local show, you push hard. But now it's everything social media, and it's a whole different ball game. And trying to get on Spotify and see how many plays you can get, how many, it's crazy. So it's this totally different ball game now. But I really do think the homegrown feel works the best. I think that getting out there, playing shows, working with other bands, creating community, that works the best, in my opinion. Nothing's really changed. It's just people are lazy and on their phone looking at social media.
No, I know. It's like these days everyone's just glued to their phone, and It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
that's where we live
social
most of our
media.
life.
Social media is good and it's bad. I think it has a lot of downsides because it's hard to really grab a fan. Like you can run ads, you can get on Spotify, you can there's all these things you can do, but if you don't really like engage the fans and you don't actually like tell them a story or give them a reason to have a buy-in, then you're just another one of the 4 million bands that are coming out on Spotify every week. You know,
Right.
so you have to have a buy-in. You have to have some kind of story. You have to have some kind of connection with your lyrics or your songs, or you're the party band, or you're the whatever. And we're not really partiers anymore. We're kind of old. Not like so old we can't play, but we had our 20s. Our
Yeah.
20s are over.
You're not in that, college scene.
No, and I'm not. I haven't been in that scene in a long time. And I don't have 400 friends to come watch me play, so I actually have to go get fans. So
Yeah, I wanted to ask you more about your guitar playing. Is there a guitar riff that you absolutely love and you're like, man, I wish I came up with this guitar riff?
yeah, Blackened by Metallica.
Ah,
Yeah, that riff got me. I was a kid. Blackened. Yeah, and I was in seventh grade when the Black album came out, and that's my all-time favorite. But I met them a year or so ago, and I can show you this. I don't know if you can see that or
oh
not.
yeah, I can see it now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I met them. I flew to Raleigh, North Carolina, and got to hang out for about an hour with them. And they asked me why do you want me to sign this album? And I said, because man, it's the best songs. That riff, Blackened. So that's what got me playing guitar. I remember sitting on my grandparents' back porch, just playing a guitar, listening to a cassette tape, rewinding over and over, pushing rewind, and so I could learn how to play. And I didn't have YouTube.
Yeah, right.
There's no YouTube, so I had to actually learn. And yeah, it was fun. But Blackened, that's it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, how was it meeting
Yeah,
them? Were they down to earth and everything you were hoping they would be?
it's funny you say that. It's exactly what I was worried about. I flew to Raleigh, North Carolina, because that's where I happened to get the backstage tickets. And I was so nervous. I was like, God, I'm going to hate these guys. I'm afraid I'm going to hate them after I meet them. Because, they're living in a different universe than the rest of
Yeah,
us. They are
they're
the
legends.
biggest band in the world. Yeah, they're the huge. They're titans of music. And so, man, they walked in. There was like 12 or 15 of us, maybe, in a big room like this. They walked in and they were the greatest guys. They came up and walked around, hung out with everybody. They visited with every single person, got to hang out, take pictures, and talk to them. They were the kindest. They loved their fans.
Oh, that's
I've
awesome.
I've met a lot of bands. I've met a lot of rock stars, and I won't say any ugly things about anybody, but they were great. They were
Oh,
really
that's
great.
good. Yeah, because
Thank God. I'm so glad.
yeah, a lot of people say don't meet your hero because they might change your perception of them if they
Oh
don't
yeah.
live up to what you're hoping they'll be. But that's good that in your case it went very well.
Oh man. Thank God. I was so worried. I was so nervous. And then when you get around them, you're like, want to talk about anything but music because you just don't want to bore them to death with the same bullshit they've heard from every other fan that wants them to sign, stupid stuff. I felt like bad. Like I was like, hey, I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah.
I know this probably
Like,
sucks. I appreciate
I'm like
you doing
apologizing. Sorry you have to do this.
this. I'm sorry, but I really appreciate it. Me and James actually talked about they moved to Vail, Colorado, and I was doing a bunch of business out in that area, and so I was driving through there a lot. And I asked him, I heard you moved out to Colorado, and he was talking about his kid and him driving around, doing stuff in Colorado. And we actually knew a couple of the same people because we're out there a lot, and it was kind of funny. And so he kind of took an interest in what I was doing with I have a roofing business, and he kind of took an interest in what I was doing, and we talked for probably the longest. He was really cool, really good guy. So
That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's
nice
awesome.
guys. I hope this interview gets back to them so that they put me on tour with them.
That would be cool. That's our goal.
One can dream.
Right? Oh, that would be cool if you
Okay,
guys.
sorry, I've talked too long. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that would be awesome if you guys like opened up for them or something.
That's the hope. I've had our new manager has helped me get some really cool opportunities recently. I've got a publicist, Tom, and we have a PR campaign going on, or that going on. We also have quite a bit of buzz going on our YouTube page. We're in 3 weeks, I think we're up to about 87,000 plays on the video.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yeah, it's going good. And now we're doing some Spotify stuff. And so, but we've already got some tour opportunities that were with some bands that I highly look up to, like bands that you probably know. I can't really say.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to figure out, we're trying to finish the album with our producer, and just, we're self-funded, you know. We are our own label, you know, and we're not asking for money from anybody. So you have to kind of go at the speed of money. And so we're trying to finish the album. We're going to play some big shows at home, which will be a big opportunity for us to raise capital. And then I think we're going to hit the festival. We got a guy that's working on festivals for us next year. So I think we're wanting to hit US festivals. And if any opportunities overseas go, you know, in Europe happen, then we would go to that. But that's going to be a little, probably, we're making the transition from, hey, we're guys that have careers and work, to guys that have the opportunity to play music. And that is a balance, you know?
Right.
So, but we're going to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think there needs to be more rock music festivals. So I'm hoping next year we'll see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Danny Wimmer's festivals are coming back. Austin City Limits Festival's happening next month. So there's a bunch of stuff happening.
Yeah,
Coming back.
I know there was one, I don't know if it was Pennsylvania, but it's called Exit 111.
Yeah.
I think it only happened 1 year and then COVID came, so it got, you know, postponed, but I'm hoping that one comes back.
That'll come back. Yeah, I think it's going to. I mean, you know, I'm seeing a lot of musicians get kind of wary about going out on the road, and me personally, I don't worry about it too much. I'm pretty healthy. I take a lot of vitamin D. I take care of myself, and
Yeah,
you know, I'm not worried about it too much. But there's some people that are a little more worried about it, that maybe advanced age or maybe not be so healthy. So to me, in our band, we're all still decently young, and we're all healthy. Our singer runs probably 10 miles a day. He's super, super healthy. And so I think we're all right. I would be ready to tour if we got the opportunity. We'll see.
yeah. I mean, look at Keith Richards. He's still rocking, and he's how old?
Right. He's old.
Yeah.
He's getting up there.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think it's going to come back. I just think we're going through the pains of trying to figure everything out, answer the questions. You know, there's a lot of unanswered questions. But right now, it's who's getting vaccines, who's not, who believes the vaccine, who doesn't. And I don't know that there's a right answer. I mean, some people will swear up and down for the vaccine, and some people that are equally as educated will swear against it. And, you know, it's not, I don't even know that it's a Democrat Republican thing. I think it's just a thing that I know a lot of Republicans that you normally would think would be like anti-vaxxers. No, this is my personal freedom, that are saying, no, I'm vaccinated. And then I know some Democrats that normally you would think are pro-vaccine are saying, hell no, I'm not doing that. So the line is skewed. Who knows?
I know. It's because nobody knows the answers really. You know, this is something new.
Right. It sounds about like the IRS. They don't even know their own tax code. They don't know. Nobody knows what's going on.
So I'm guessing the plan for you guys is just to keep releasing singles until the album comes out?
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of research. When I started getting into this and investing in my money into this and time into this, I thought, okay, what's going to be the best approach here? So all the research that I've done and all of the gurus, all the record label executives that you can, you know, that learn from, have said that this new thing with Spotify and their algorithm, and then YouTube and their algorithm, putting music out every 8 weeks or so is really a good move. So you put a song, it's constantly promoting something. You put a song out with a still video, then you're going to put a music video out, and then you're going to put out a press release. You're going to put out all those things. It's all one big puzzle. And you treat every single like a mini release, like an album release. You put a new T-shirt out. You tell a story behind it. Create a little mini documentary. Give them the buy-in. You remember when I don't know if you follow the UFC or not. We're all big UFC fans. So the UFC almost died off. It was a big thing when I was in school, like high school. And it almost died off. But in 2004, 2005, they put out that TV show, The Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason it got big was because everybody watched that show and they were intrigued by these fighters' lifestyle and what they were doing. And then they got into the fighters' lives and they started hearing their backstory and their struggles, and their dedication and their passion for this sport. And instantly the UFC is the biggest sport in the world because people bought in. So I think it's the same kind of thing. You can't just have a song. You have to have a story. There has to be something behind it. So, we're trying to not manufacture a story. We're just telling our story. We're just telling who we are, our experiences, where we came from, things that bother us. We'll sing about things that bother us. We'll sing things that were about things that many people can relate to, like Silence the Fear, crushing those thoughts of fear that paralyze you into not being able to do your dreams or do something that you want to do. The next single that we're going to do is called Living in My Head. And that's about, the stress and anxiety that we're all going through right now. And having to prepare yourself every day to mentally wake up and go through the challenges of anxiety and depression and things that we all deal with. I don't know that we all deal with that, but a lot of people deal with it right now. So we're trying to just talk about real stuff. And so we're trying to relate and have buy-in. I don't want to write about bashing somebody's head in or there's a lot of stuff in metal, especially, that can go kind of dark, and I don't want to go there. I mean, we might go there, but I'm just not going to focus on it.
Right.
So.
No, I think the topics you mentioned really resonate with people right now, and definitely will help people, overcome this questionable time that we're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our previous singer he was a really cool guy. He's a Dallas firefighter now. But if you ever worked in emergency medicine or emergency first responders, they kind of get jaded a little bit. They see so much that they become jaded. And so some of the songs were a little more aggressive, probably a little more angry. Some deep stuff with past relationships and things like that. Some of the songs were a little more I don't know. I don't want to say negative, because I don't think he's negative, but it was just a little more aggressive and harsh. These songs, I think, we're trying to actually relate. So
I can definitely dig that.
Yeah, let's relate.
Let's relate.
Relate.
So there's no title or release date yet for the album? Still working on that?
Yeah. I got that board over there that I got to finish. I got 16. There's actually more now. There's probably like 20 songs now. My producer is in Vegas. And so what we're doing is we're doing a song. We're going to try to finish a song every few weeks, like every month. Just try to finish a song. And we're doing a music video probably for every song.
Oh, cool.
And that is really difficult to come up with. We have a guy that's really creative. He actually used to play with us in the band. He was the original drummer, but the ex-guitar player. He played with me. He was my other guitar player.
Okay.
And he's an extremely talented person. He took up videography and so he directed the Silence the Fear video. And so we kind of have everything in-house. And so, but coming up with the concepts and the ideas of something that's going to be accepted on a national level or the world level is not that easy. It's not about filming it. It's not about going up there and playing your song and headbanging. it's about like coming up with a concept in a place and location. That's been so difficult for us. So, and I think we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to do some music videos, some lyric videos. We're going to do some different things, but it's not a matter of being able to do a video. It's a matter of where to do a video and what do you want on your video.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's,
So,
I was thinking about that the other day about, music videos back in the 80s, when it was really taking over MTV and how much thought they had to put into it because,
yeah.
MTV was new and that was a good marketing tool. So,
Yeah.
like
I
Michael
would love to have been
Jackson,
on video.
he has so
Oh,
many
yeah.
iconic videos.
And it was like Hollywood back then. It was like when you saw a music video back then, it was like Hollywood produced it.
Yeah.
And now we're shooting the stuff in our garage with these 4K cameras that look amazing,
Yeah.
But you had like, some of the Metallica videos I know would cost millions of dollars to make. So it's just times have changed, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But then YouTube came along and now, you had these pop stars who supposedly get billions of views, So
Yeah. I'm a big, me and my wife both are big Billie Eilish fans.
oh yeah, she's young and talented.
She is incredible. And she's not just a pretty face. She is an incredible singer and incredible talent. I saw that little documentary with her that showed where she recorded it all in her bedroom with her brother. Oh man, it was so inspiring because I'm like, man, I've got a bigger room than that. I need to record some stuff. I need to do something, but she's just incredibly talented. And it doesn't matter if you go to $1 million studio or not. If you're incredibly talented and you have the technology, record your music, put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's good, you'll get 1 billion views like she did. So,
well, before we sign off, is there anything else you want to mention about the band and what you guys have coming up?
We're announcing a big show on Friday with our good friends Element 80. I don't know when this is going to come out, but when it does, we'll probably have already announced it on Friday. They came back from a big hiatus too, and they got signed to Universal and had a great run, and so we're coming back pretty strong with them. And then we're going to be planning some dates in the Texas area, Texas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio, and then in the region. And then until we did make a decision right after the first of the year on jumping on some tours or what exact festivals and things like that. So all of that's in the works, and we have an incredible team. Sarah Ray, our manager, and her whole group, Tag, Tom, them, really working hard that believe in what we're doing and are really bought in and have some investment there and really seem to want to help us put this message and get it out there. So I'm excited. I don't exactly know what is going to happen, but you'll be hearing a new song here really soon. We've got another October. I think the first week of October, the new single will release, and probably a few weeks after that, we'll have another video. So,
very cool. Yeah, seems like you guys are gonna stay busy.
We are. Yeah, we are. And probably another single before the end of the year, right before the New Year's Eve show, probably another single.
Oh, nice. So, very cool. Can't wait to hear them.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. And, hopefully see you guys on the road if you guys make it up to Boston.
We definitely are going to. That's the plan. So
we'll
see you soon.